Hi everybody, how is everybody doing today? So I'm coming on today. I think I'm talking a bit loud. I do apologize. I'm coming on today because I did start making step by step how to make a Tilda doll. Oh gosh, a couple of weeks back, and I think I got to step 6, and then things got in the way and I had to do my swaps, and then I didn't go back to it. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm actually making a Tilda doll for the lovely Rose. Hi Rose. Me and her did a private swap, so I'm going to be making 2 Tilda dolls side by side, and they are both going to be in different fabrics. So the one that I was making with you is going to be in this fabric. No, the one I was making with you, start again. Gosh. The one I was making with you is going to be in this fabric, the yellow one. And the one I'm making for Rose is going to be in the pink one. And I'm going to do the hair a little different, and I'm going to do the bodice a little different, especially on Rose's. I think I've got an idea how I'm going to make that different. So, making 2 different ones for you to see how to do the hair differently, how to do the dresses differently, and how to do the bodice and etc. differently. So what I've done, these are the arm pieces, these are the leg pieces that I'm working with you today. I have taken a pair of legs for Rose's doll, and I've drawn around it. That's the step we got to. I think it was step 6 where I told you to draw all the way around your pattern. So now is step 7. So I've done Rose's legs for her Tilda doll, so we need to do ours. Take that pin out actually, and all we need to do is, now I've done one, I'm just going to do the other one with you. All we need to do is sew where we've drawn the pattern. It's important to sew exactly on that line, because when you flip it over the other side, both of your legs are going to be exactly the same. If you go over a little bit, then your legs may not match up. So just take that into a little bit of consideration. It is a bit tricky to get it exactly on the line, and I'm going to give you a little tip on how to do it. So Rose's legs are done, so our legs. Now what I've done with this one, I've already done it. So I'm doing a zigzag stitch as well instead of a straight stitch, but the zigzags are quite small. I did start over and I thought, oh, I'm doing a zigzag, shall I change it to straight? And I thought, nah, I'll leave it as zigzag because you're not going to see it that end anyway. And as it's a doll, I'm pushing stuffing inside, so it's going to need that little bit of extra, what would you call it? Extra tightness on the sides to make sure it stays. So I've done one of our legs, and this the other one I'm going to do with you today. Right, so I'm going to move, and they're both gonna have that fabric for the boots. I think I've picked both exactly the same. Yeah, I did. They're both going to have these for the boots. So we're doing the legs today, and then I'm going to be doing the arms for you. So I'm going to move that to a side. So I've got my sewing machine here, and I'm going to try and sort of aim you there. Right, so don't stitch on the top, because that top bit is where you would stitch it to your main body. So you can't have that top stitch. I do apologize, the camera's, there we are. Sorry guys. Don't stitch that top stitch, because that is the bit where you stitch it to the body. If you was to stitch it right across, A, you're not going to be able to get all your stuffing in, and B, what will end up happening is you're not going to be able to stitch it to your body. So don't stitch across. We're going to start from the right hand corner, go all the way down and come back up to the left corner. So how do you make sure you're on the lines? Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip. I've drawn ours on in pencil, if you remember right, but Rose's I actually drew with the chalk, what would you call it? Dressmaker's chalk. So it doesn't matter what you draw it on, just be aware you're not going to see it because you're stitching over it. So a little tip for you, now this is in pencil. The way I'm guiding it is my needle is on the more of the right side. It's not dead in the straight, but it's more of the right. So the way I do it is I eye the needle up with my line mark, and as long as that's lined up, your stitches will go on the mark. So put your foot down, you go forward a couple of stitches and then backwards, forward and then backwards, because there's gonna be a lot of pressure on the sides then when you put the stuffing in. So all I'm doing is making sure that needle is in line with the actual line I've drawn, and that's how I ended up having it on the actual line. I'm not making any sort of sense, I know I'm not. Let me start again. The tip is to get the needle in line with the line that you've drawn. That's my tip for you. You might find it a different way to get your stitches exactly on the line you've drawn, but that's the way I've sort of taught myself how to do it. And like I said before, I am using a zigzag stitch. The reason we go forward and backwards right at the very start is to make sure that those stitches aren't going to come out, because once I've finished I can just cut the thread away and I don't have to worry about tying it or making a knot because I've gone back and forth my stitches. So this is on a zigzag. This is on a zigzag a pattern, but it's on a very small zigzag and I'm not too fussed. And then when I come, because now it sort of comes round, you can sort of see it here. So the pattern's going to come in, and that's where our knees are basically. So guide your fabric here and move your fabric with the needle. You can pick your foot up, so pick the foot up, move, pick your foot up. I just find it easier guiding the fabric, but you might have your own way of doing it, and it might not be guiding the fabric, it might be totally something different. Go over where we ironed and pressed, that's important because we're going to cut the pattern out. Now we're coming close to the foot, so if I'm unsure, I'll bring my needle down, lift my foot up, and then sort of do it. Now I'm going back instead of forward because I've just realised if I go forward, it's going to not go on the line. Just make sure that you've got it all. Now I'm coming back up the other end and I can take my pins out as I'm going. I do apologise for this video being so late. Now it's coming close to that corner and I'm gonna backwards, forwards, backwards, make sure my needle's up, and then I can cut my threads. So we have now got, just quickly show you, I've taken my pins out. We have now got 2 pairs of legs all sewn on the lines. See, now I haven't gone completely where the foot is, so what I'm going to do with this one, I have, like I say, it's important for you to do it, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back on the machine. I'm going to start this, no, I'm going to start where this toe is, and I'm going to go on the line, because what will end up happening is I'll have two pairs of feet that don't look the same, and we want it to look the same, really. Right, so I'm going to go back on these toes. Just go up slightly, back stitch, and that should be on the line now. Yeah, it's close enough. See? So it's this stitch, the inside stitch, is the one that we're going to concentrate on. So now I've got my two pairs of legs all sewn. So when you've done that and you've got it all sewn, you leave. Now I don't know where my, oh, here it is. Wait a sec. Once you've got your legs all sewn, leave a 1/4 of an inch, which is this gap, 1/4 of an inch all the way around, and you do that for all two legs. I'm going to say 4 then, but 4 gives you 2 dolls obviously. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to come back to you, because otherwise you're just watching me do the same thing, and I'm going to come back to you. Right, so I'm back. So I've done Rosie's legs for her doll. I'm going to do ours now. So that's basically what we want to achieve, right? So I have done one-ish. Like I said, go round, all the way round, and leave a 1/4 of a gap. Okay, 1/4 of an inch all the way round. This then, you don't want it too thick on the edges because you are turning this inside out. So use your lines carefully. And I'm going to go right around on those lines, and then I'm going to show you what I've done on the other ones. So all the way around. And then you get the gist. The dog's gonna stop barking. Right, okay, so what I've done is I've cut all the way around now, so our two are the same. Now with this one, you'll notice, let me show you the difference. With this one, you'll notice that I haven't left, my gap between my stitch and the edge is a lot thinner than this. You don't want to go right to the edge because you'll lose your stitches, but a little tip for you, since you're taking this inside out, you don't want to fill the inside either with a ton of fabric, because when you turn this inside out, what will end up happening is, because you're turning this inside out, the bulk of the fabric each side will not create your leg properly. So use your 1/4 of an inch of a gap. And then if you notice, I'm sort of cutting half of 1/4 of an inch. But do 1/4 of an inch first, and then you can judge it. But I've only done it, I haven't done the other leg because I wanted to show you what I meant. Let me cut this. And you literally just go all the way around. I do apologise if I'm going quiet. Right, so as you can see, there's only a little gap on the edge. You don't need to cut it straight, but just bear in mind that, like I say, you are taking these inside out, so you do need that little bit of a gap between your stitch and the edge, otherwise you're just cutting your stitches away. But don't do too much of a gap, because you're turning them inside out, and your inside of your leg will be more fabric than it will stuff in, and then you'll find it harder then to shape your leg. So like I say, 1/4 of an inch, then cut it in half at this end, and then I'm gonna go up here, and I won't leave it so long to come back and do steps either with you all, because I'm making this other doll for Rose. I wanted to do them side by side for you to see the difference. I should have done different shoes, but I didn't realise. I might sort of dress them up a bit different. We'll see now. Right, so now you've done all that, we want to give our doll a bit of breathing space. By that I mean where her knee is. Now when you look at your leg, you'll notice it comes in to about there. You'll notice it when you machine stitch it. So lay it flat, and you want 3 slits, 1 in the center and then 2 at an angle, so that the fabric can bend around, because that's quite stiff, that's not going anywhere. Yeah, that one, just where that bend of that knee is, 3 little slits. Right, so when you go and shape when you turn it inside out, your knee will be shaped a bit better. I'm going to do the same to Rose's legs. Right, and then I'm going to do the same here. Bearing in mind I am making 2 dolls. Try not to get it confusing for you. And then that's basically this step. You turn it inside out, and then iron them flat, and I will see you in the next video. I'm not going just yet, but no, turn them inside out. Once you got them like this, iron them, and like I said, I will see you in the next video in the next step. I am making 2 Tilda dolls, which is why I've got two pairs of legs. But yeah, this is the next step, so I will see you in the next video, because I want to do this Tilda doll for Rose. And in the next video we're going to concentrate on the arms, and then we'll do the body. But no, in the next video we're doing the arms. So like you say, iron it out, turn it inside out, iron them, and I will see you in the next video where we will do the arms. The arms are slightly different, where you cut them and all sorts, but like I say, I do apologise for this step being so late. Yeah. I will catch up with you all in the next video, and I will wish you all a good night, because here in the UK it is just gone 9 o'clock in the evening, or if you're overseas, have a lovely rest of the day, and I will catch up with you in my next video. Take care. Have a lovely rest of the week. Take care. Bye now.